accordingly, finally, for instance, for the most part, furthermore, likewise, namely, next, opposite, beyond, by the way, in brief, in comparison, in conclusion, over there, under, conversely, in particular, particularly, usually, coupled with, in short, regularly, wherefore. Transition words. You should use them less, but you have to think about your writing differently to use them less. Welcome to How to Write Good. I am your host, Daniel Poppy. You can find out more about me at danielpoppy.com. If it is your first time here, How to Write Good is a writing podcast that seeks to find principles and advice that can be applied across a broad range of writing situations. If you've been here before, don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button below, and share. So when you first started writing, it may have been pressed upon you that transition words are extremely important. And the teachers would say you must use transition words, and if you do not use transition words, I'm going to give you a lower grade on your writing. I'm here to tell you that though I'm not opposed to transition words, and they can be used effectively, good writing does not need them very often. Your teacher was wrong, because the best transitions in writing are often invisible ones, meaning that transitions in writing are almost always superior if they don't use transition words. For those of you who already know this, you're probably thinking, yeah, of course, but how do I get to the point where I don't need to use transition words as often? And you might even ask sarcastically, is it so simple that we can just take out the transition words and everything will be fine? The first answer is no. If you choose to take out the transition words without changing your writing at all, it's unlikely to work. You may have the random situation where it works just fine, but you're going to miss a lot of situations where you go from one paragraph or one section to another and you find it's very jarring. If I look at it from another direction, I could say yes to that question. Is it so simple to only skip the transition words? Yes, if you change your approach to writing. And then again, a bit sarcastic, you may ask, how do I eliminate these transition words? First, if you notice that was a transition word, first let's look at what function transitions serve within writing. Transitions, of course, connect two sections together. Transitions, on a more basic level, make those two sections make sense in sequence. I think we need to look at this idea of sense. What does it mean to make sense? And if we want to look at this idea of sense, we have to take another step back. What does it mean to make sense more broadly? First, there's another transition for you. Talking about sense assumes that there's a sense that can be made. Another way of saying this is it assumes there's a world we can make sense of. And another way of saying this is that it assumes there's a logical world because we cannot make sense of something that is illogical. Something within logic, or something logical, is something that follows the basic rules of reality. 2 + 2 cannot equal anything but 4. I cannot be alive and dead in the same sense at the same time. A thing cannot shift its essential nature without becoming something else. When a person goes out to do good scientific research, they are engaging in a logical function because they are trying to find what is actually true about the world. And all of logic follows this idea. What is true about the world? What is objectively true about reality? We can apply these principles of logic to writing as well. What makes sense together? What fits logically in sequence? If I have a character punching another character, what is the reaction that happens because of that action? You can apply this to all the different steps of writing. One example of this in world building is Death Stranding. Whether you like it or not, the world has been built in a very logical way. For those of you who don't know, Death Stranding is a video game in which the rain that falls from the sky makes things age more rapidly. The game developers decided to make this aging rain a central feature of the world, and they made certain things reflect it. If you've ever played the game, there aren't any trees. There aren't any types of plants that take a long time to grow because the rain makes it age too fast and die. The game player only sees plants that grow up quickly. In the same way, the things the player is carrying rust quickly, and there is even a situation in the game where certain characters take advantage of this rain to brew alcohol more quickly. This is taking one small aspect and playing it out logically through the entire game, and you can apply this same principle to your writing. Do paragraphs fit together logically? Does one paragraph follow the other paragraph? Is the response in your dialogue something that someone would say? Do people actually think about action or experience action in the way you are presenting that action? Is the response to the action appropriate or something someone would actually do? You're looking at your writing, you're seeing how you're presenting things in your writing, and you're seeing if those things match up logically with how the world or your world you've created actually works. When you are a newer writer, you use transition words to connect these things in a logical way. You're bridging the gap between two different ideas in some cases. As you integrate this logical idea into your writing more and more, you will be creating a situation where you can pull transition words out without having your writing suffer. Actually, in a lot of cases, it will make your writing better. If you enjoyed this, you're probably wondering how you can support me. Well, you can actually do two simple things. Follow the first link below to grab a copy of my book, and then follow the second link and sign up for my newsletter. It's that simple. Those two things will mean the world to me and give me more time to write books and create content for you. As always, my name is Daniel Poppy, and this is How to Write Good.